Hello, Versus System folks. I am BoomySteak, or other people know me as Dave, and I wanted to share with you guys a kind of a personalization, a customization of Versus System that I created that I actually have been enjoying with some play testing that I've been doing online, and that is converting Overwatch into Versus System 2 PCG. And what I wanted to do is just highlight a few cards that I created, see what you guys think, and kind of take it from there. So I thought I'd kind of let's start off with main characters, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So obviously all these characters are from Overwatch, as you guys can see on my wallpaper here. You guys can see some of the main characters and some of the original artwork. And what I'm going to do is highlight a few characters that I decided to make cards for. So all this stuff is going to be for the illustrated universe. So none of this is going to be for the, I guess you can say, the photographic universe or anything like that. And the first card I want to show is Tracer. So Tracer being kind of like the figurehead behind the whole series. And I took a lot of these images from the comics and from even some fan art. So if some of this stuff is your own artwork and you would like to have me take it off, or if you have actual fan artwork you'd like me to use, let me know. And I'll kind of take a look into it as I kind of create my cards here. As you can see here, I have Tracer. She's Overwatch. She has 2 attack, 5 defense with 4 health. And she has the stealth keyword power, so that means she can melee attack back row characters even while they're protected. And she has the recall superpower. So as a reaction, you can pay a skill, or a red. When Tracer would get struck in combat, remove her from the combat, and you may put her into either your front or back row. So the whole idea behind this is just like in the game, you can hit the recall function and she'll just disappear and she'll go where she was. I think it's like 10 seconds before or something like that. And I wanted to have that kind of play out here in the game, and so I decided to use this aspect with Tracer. Her level up power I'm still working with. I'm still trying to figure it out. But there is the Cavalry is here. So level up power 5 XP. Whenever an Overwatch supporting character appears on your side, Tracer gains an XP. So very similar to Cyclops in this regard. The only thing is that she can obviously melee attack back row characters, and she can cancel combats. Hence why she has only 4 health. But, I think it's really powerful. I think any main character that has the ability to cancel combat or anything like that is really powerful, especially with someone that has a high defense value. I don't know if to actually balance this to make her a 3-4 or if 2-5 is good because she has stealth. I'm still trying to tweak the stats and things like that as I go along here. But once you level her up, she becomes a level 2 Tracer. And once she becomes level 2, she retains her stealth and recall. She has 4 attack, 8 defense now with the 4 health. And then she has Pulse Bomb on top of those 2. During any turn of combat, you can pay 2 blues, stun an enemy character that is in melee combat with Tracer. Okay? Now, the reason why I decided to do it as 2 blues was the fact that she has stealth. So if she went into your back row, got into combat, paid a blue every time to stun your opponent character, I kind of thought that was a little too cheap. So I decided to make it 2 blues to use a Pulse Bomb. But I thought I'd kind of add this in there so she has the ability to go into your opponent's back row and stun a character back there in melee combat. So pretty powerful. The reason why I consider her melee combatant is because her pistols are only very close range, and they really have a lot of damage close range. So that's kind of how I saw it. So that's Tracer. I think she's a pretty crazy character. If you guys have any supporting characters or anything like that you think that would work really well with Tracer, let me know, or any plot twists and things like that to make a Tracer deck. But that's kind of like I've been making these characters purely based on the flavor and kind of like what their abilities are in the game. So there's Tracer. The next one I'm gonna look into is let's look over here. Keep up with the Overwatch logo stuff here. Where do I have you? Okay. is Jack Morrison. So Jack Morrison I created level 1 with Overwatch. He has range. He has 2 attack, 5 defense, just like Tracer. He's got 5 health. And he has the leader keyword power. And he has Helix rockets. Combat, you pay a blue. Put 3 -1/-1 counters on an enemy defender. So leader, obviously, you get to choose who your target strikes back against during team attacks, which I've thought was really an underwhelming ability. But then as I started to make more decks and stuff like that, it's become definitely much more of a keyword to keep track of. And then we have Fall of Overwatch. Level up power, 4 XP. When another Overwatch character on your side gets stunned on an enemy player's turn, Jack Morrison gains an XP. When Jack Morrison levels up, he transforms into Soldier 76 level 2. Okay? So the idea behind this is that you have leader, you can strike some big heavy opponents on their side, you have range, you can weaken your opponent during combat with your Helix rockets, but you have to make sure to get your Overwatch character stunned on your side. Okay? So you have to make sure to get them stunned and leave play. So what happens when you level up? Well, you become a Soldier 76 level 2. And you have AKA Jack Morrison. You lose the leader capability because you're no longer the leader of Overwatch. And if you notice over here, there's no leader, there's no Overwatch team symbol. So he has no Overwatch team symbol, no nothing like that. He also has the range as well, 6'6", so pretty decent for level 2, with 5 health. All right, and he retains his Helix rockets, so he's a 6'6" with range that could put 3 -1/-1 counters on an enemy defender during combat with a blue. So, pretty powerful. And then he has, "I'm a man on a mission, stay out of my way," which is kind of a key quote from the game. If Soldier 76 is the only face-up character on your side, he gets +5/+5 and durable. Okay. So basically what that means is that he can't be killed otherwise, or not killed, sorry, he can't be stunned and gain a wound outside of combat. So he becomes an 11/11 and he can't be stunned outside of combat. Really powerful. So the idea here, I'm assuming with this deck that I've been trying to create here based around the Soldier 76, is you want characters that are going to like give you lots of strength and abilities and kind of unique like tech stuff if they go into your KO pile. So you want to make sure you have characters that you can like throw out in front of your opponent just to take out so that you can add some more things to Soldier 76. Because when he's by himself, he's going to become very powerful. And the fact that he's AKA Jack Morrison means that you have a whole bunch of cards in your deck that you can be able to use in order to, power him up and kind of get him very big. So Soldier 76 could become a really big problem. But that's just something I have to the flavor. If you guys feel like, this needs to be more balanced or you think there could be a better way to do level 2 Soldier 76, let me know. And I am more than happy to kind of change and tweak those things once I can get those done. But yeah, so that's Soldier 76 main character. Another main character that I worked on for Overwatch is Reinhardt. And Reinhardt is level 1 with Overwatch symbol. He has 4 attack, 3 defense with 6 health. He has the tough keyword power that I gave him because he's a pretty tough guy. He can take a lot of hits. And he's got that nice armor on him. Then for a superpower, I gave him barrier shield. For any turn of combat, you can pay a humanity. If Reinhardt is defending, he can convert any amount of his attack into defense this combat. So the idea is that, like, when you're in the video game, Reinhardt throws up his shield and basically gives up his ability to strike anybody, right? So you have to rely heavily on your teammates to be shooting from behind you. So the idea behind this is that, within this, the confines of, versus system, what I did is I tried to tweak it into this sort of ability where you can actually give him the ability to raise up his defense, and he's tough, and he's got 6 health. But the thing is that obviously you have to pay a blue to do that. So that's why I kind of gave him the 6 health. Barrier is failing. Level up 3 XP. When Reinhardt is stunned by an enemy character that has a higher attack than Reinhardt's attack, Reinhardt gains an XP. So the idea is that the opponent's going to have to rely on a lot of big characters. If they team attack you and take you down, then you're pretty much SOL. But the thing is that if you use barrier shield, you're going to lower your attack. So the thing is that while you're defending, you can raise your defense and lower your attack and get stunned. Ready yourself, right? Recover yourself with the tough keyword power. So you can just keep staying up on your side and keep gaining XP. So those are just some things in there, and I think it kind of flows pretty well with this. But yeah, so that's Reinhardt level 1. Reinhardt level 2 is he retains his tough and barrier shield. He's a 7/5 now, and he has 6 health, and he has fire strike. So in main phase, you pay a red, put a put -1/-1 counters onto an enemy unprotected character equal to Reinhardt's defense. Okay, so at level 2, you can put 5 -1/-1s on a character. Boom, just like that. So those are just some things kind of looking into this. I wanted this to be all about defense with Reinhardt because that's what a big part of his character is. He definitely has some aggression that he can definitely use with his hammer. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about this about this card and about this deck. Obviously, he's going to become very powerful as you continue on because once you can get 7, what's that, like 12? You can get 12 defense with the payment of a humanity. So I don't know. I know that's really powerful, but maybe if I made it 6/5 or 5/5, just let me know what you guys think. Maybe I need to tweak some of these stats here for level 2 to balance them out. But I really like this sort of mechanic that I kind of added here with this. Those are the main characters I have ready so far. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait off on that one. But let's look at some plot twists that I have set up. You guys can let me know what you think. This one I thought was quite interesting. Peacekeeping Force for the Overwatch team. It's a reaction plot twist. At the end of your turn, if you did not make any attacks this turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters onto your main character. So the idea is that you're leading your team well into battle. I thought this would even do well with a Professor Xavier deck. So if you had Professor Xavier deck who relies on not making attacks, and then you put this out, and then he would, you can just make him bigger and bigger and bigger. It's one way you can do it, or there's possibly a whole bunch of other decks that you can rely on, maybe control decks or things like that, where you can rely on this ability. But yeah, so I have Peacekeeping Force. Another one I feel like I need to tweak, but you guys can let me know, is the Saviors of Humanity. This is an any turn plot twist from Overwatch. Any turn of combat, if this is a team attack, each attacker gets +2/+0 and pounce. Okay, I kind of made the bonus a little less than what we saw from the A-Force one, because the A-Force one was about each one gets +3/+0, because you get the pounce ability. And you're going to notice with some of the supporting characters why this is going to mesh really well with the Overwatch team. Basically forcing characters to become exhausted and then rushing in and just pouncing on them as the Overwatch crew. Does it work well with the actual flavor of the team? I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you guys think about it. But those are just some things I have there. Then I'll show you guys a few of my my supporting characters I have, and we'll start with the level 1 guys. Let's see, for level 1, I will show you guys Mercy. So I created a 1-drop Mercy supporting character from Overwatch. She has flight, she has 1 attack, 3 defense. She has the mobile keyword power. Once per turn, you can move her between your front and back row. And she has the ability to heal a wound from a supporting character on your side, and she's got 1 health. So I thought the mobile made sense considering that, she had, she has that ability to, jump from teammate to teammate. But then I also thought there might be one where you could actually do something that's similar to a, like a Shadow Cat, where you have to play it from your hand. But if you pay a blue, she can come from your hand onto your side and give either your teammate a +3/+0 or a +0/+3, right? Either giving them a damage boost or a defense boost, right? So I thought that could be like another type of maybe like a 2-drop or something like that Mercy can have, where you can pay a blue and throw her out onto your side and do that sort of thing. But yeah, so I thought this would be pretty good. She's a good defender. She can move between your front and back row, heal wounds from your supporting characters on your side. Very derivative of Angel, which is kind of, obviously she's kind of like the female Angel. Just look at her. So I just kind of added that sort of some of those abilities to this. Another 1-drop I have is Genji. You guys can let me know what you guys think about him. So Genji is Overwatch. He's 1 attack, 2 defense, 2 health. He has Climb, so at the start of your main phase, you may exhaust a location. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Genji. He also has Shurikens. Now, Shurikens is an ability I created. During the main phase, you pay a red. You may remove 3 +1/+1 counters from Genji, then divide as you choose up to 3 -1/-1 counters on up to 3 enemy characters. So the idea is that, like how you have the shurikens in the game where you get to throw 3 in a row straight ahead, or throw 3 at once in kind of a spray pattern. So I kind of wanted to give that sort of function to this, and I really liked Improvised Weapon from Bullseye. So I decided to go, like, how can I do that and impact this into the game? Well, since they have Climb already, he can climb up locations, gain +1/+1 counters, also from power-ups and stuff like that. And once you have 3, you can remove them from Genji and then just put a bunch of -1/-1s onto your opponent. But think about it, you can climb, and then if you have someone with 1 defense, you can just pay a red. I'm going to have to say you may remove up to 3 +1/+1 counters. Yeah, so I have to change a few of the wording in here. But the idea is that he can gain +1/+1s and then use them to weaken your opponent. So that's Genji. As we continue up through all of this, I'm going to kind of jump onto different drops and things like that. I have a 3-drop Lucio, and this is where that whole aspect is going to start coming into play with within the game, with exhausting characters and things like that. You're going to kind of see how this is all going to play out. So Lucio is Overwatch, range, 3 attack, 5 defense with 2 health, and he has Sound Wave. When Lucio appears on your side, you may move a front row enemy character to their back row. So the thing is that obviously if you have any of those cycle abilities where you just keep bringing him out, you just can bring out 3 Lucios and just push 3 guys to their back row just to get on a opponent's main character or something like that. But there's going to be something that plays along with this within the game as well. But yeah, so that's Lucio. He was kind of fun to make. Let's see, another one I have is McCree as a 3-drop. McCree is a range, 5 attack, 4 defense with 1 health. It ain't my time. He has combat roll, so during any turn of combat, McCree gets +0/+3 this combat. So I thought the idea behind this could be he can use it to attack, right? He can use it to roll in and attack, or he can also use it to defend himself when he's getting attacked as well. So yeah, so using the combat roll as a defensive or offensive capability to get that +3 defense, that combat could be pretty powerful. Especially the fact that he has range on top of that, and it could become a 5/7 as a 3-drop. So yeah. So that's McCree. Moving on, you guys have to let me know what you think about this one, because this one is pretty powerful. So I have Mei, and Mei as a 4-drop, she's got 4 attack, 5 defense with 1 health. And I gave her freeze, so obviously just within the same realm of Iceman, obviously, freezing people. Then I gave her Ice Wall. During any turn of combat, you can pay a blue. Cancel the combat, and enemy characters without flight cannot make attacks against characters on your side this turn. Okay? So the idea is that, you throw up this huge wall, and anybody that, does not have flight cannot go over it. Now, would I give the ability so that people with climb can still climb over it? That's a whole different thing that could be added into this. But yeah, so you can cancel the combat, but people without flight cannot make attacks. So people with flight can still fly over But anyone that just has range from their back row is just going to be shooting into an ice wall. So I kind of like the flavor of this. I think this could be a very powerful card in certain regards. But anything that can cancel combat, I think, is really powerful in this game. So yeah, so that's May. Then let's see here. Where do I have Reinhardt? Yeah, so I'll show you. Oh, actually, I got Jack Morrison here. I'll show you guys. So Jack Morrison, he's a 4-drop. He has range, 6 attack, 4 defense with 1 health. He has the leader keyword power. This is kind of one of those broken up quotes. I didn't start this war. So any turn of any combat, you can pay humanity. When a character on your side is defending in combat, remove that character from the combat, and now Jack Morrison is defending in that combat. Switch their positions. So just like Uncanny Defense. So basically, by paying a blue, you have Uncanny Defense with Jack Morrison. But I'm damn well going to finish it. Whenever Jack Morrison becomes KO'd, you may search your deck and or KO pile for a Soldier 76 supporting character and put it into your hand. So the idea behind this is, the flavor is obviously after they thought he was dead, he kind of came back and he's going to come back and finish the job of finding those that basically caused the fall of Overwatch. All right. So he has the Overwatch team icon. Pretty powerful at 6 attack, 4 defense as a 4-drop. So yeah. So so that's Jack Morrison. I have a whole bunch of 4-drops with these guys, but I'm just gonna choose a few. So let's move on to the 5-drops. Actually, one that I think is maybe too powerful, but I really like it. Is Ana. Now Ana 5-drop Overwatch. I gave her range. She has 1 attack, 7 defense, and 1 health. Nano boost. So any turn of combat, of any combat now. She can pay a blue and choose another character in combat on your side to get +4/+4 and tough this combat. So the thing is that they could be incredibly powerful, but just like in the game, they get a huge attack and defense boost and the fact that they get tough. Oh, man. I really like the flavor of this, but it's the way of balancing it. Maybe if I did +3/+3 instead, I don't know. I just think +4/+4 may be just too much. To give as a 5-drop. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know on the way to balancing this card. She also has Biotic Rifle, so when Ana strikes an enemy defender, it becomes infected. At the end of each of your turns, put a -1/-1 counter on it. So obviously when she strikes an enemy defender, which means she has to be the attacker in this combat, I like the infected keyword with what was it? It was like an X-Files expansion, but I liked that keyword, so I added it to this as well. Just very much like those damage over time rifles and things like that in Overwatch. That's kind of like how this plays out in Ana's with Ana's ability. So yeah, pretty powerful, and I really like Ana as a character in the game, so I kind of like showing her off here. Now, this is where things are going to start making sense with the Pounce and the Sabers of Humanity. By the time you get to a 5-drop Reinhardt, you have the Overwatch symbol. You have 6 attack, 7 defense with 2 health. Earth Shatter. Main phase, you pay a blue. Exhaust each unprotected enemy character they can't ready until after your next turn. And, of course, the flavor, Hammer Down. So the idea behind this is that, you exhaust all the other characters on their side, and then you use that plot twist to give everyone else Pounce, and they just basically strike all of them, and they can't strike back at them in combat. So it's just, I find it to be very powerful. Combo with Reinhardt and the Saviors of Humanity plot twist. So yeah, I really like this card. Some people may think that's too powerful, but he is a 5-drop. But maybe some people think that is too powerful to exhaust each unprotected enemy character, and they can't ready. So anyone that's in the back row that's protected by people in the front row are not going to be impacted by this. So if they have people in the front row, but the perfect combo with this is using the Lucio, pushing guys into the back row, then bringing out Reinhardt, slamming everyone down in their back row, and then bringing out the Sabers of Humanity. Can be very powerful, maybe too powerful, But we'll see how that all works out. So as we continue on going forward, as we push forward here, so those are some of our 5 drops. A 6 drop is Mr. Bastion. Of course, Bastion is a powerful card, powerful character in Overwatch already. But looking into Bastion here, Bastion is a 6 drop. He's from the Overwatch team. He has range, of course, 5 attack, 5 defense, which is not great stats for a 6 drop, but I'll explain that. And he has 1 health. His first keyword power is Attack Protocol. When Bastion appears, he is in Recon configuration. Reconfiguration Recon, Bastion has +0, +3. So when he appears, he becomes a 5/8 6 drop, which is not terrible, but not as much firepower as you may be hoping from a ranged character. But then he has Configuration Sentry. Bastion has +4, +0, and is immobile. Okay, so he becomes a 9/5 with range, which is a little bit better than maybe you were thinking. Then he is Reconfigured. During the main phase, pay a yellow or an intellect, and Bastion transforms from Recon to Sentry configuration or vice versa. So basically, you come out as a 5/8, you pay a yellow, you're a 9/5, and with immobile, meaning you just can't move during your formation step, which is not horrible. But the thing is that character has anything to pull you from side to side, and you're just, if they pull you to the front row, you're pretty much sitting there unless you pay a yellow to be able to move back. But yeah, so that's Bastion. I really like the flavor of this. This is the artwork from the Binary comic, which I thought was pretty fascinating. But yeah, so Bastion. As we continue on going up into the 7 drops and stuff like that, I'm still working on trying to balance some of them. But one that I think is pretty good already, and I'm going to show you guys this, is Symmetra. So Symmetra, as a 7 drop, she's got 5 attack, 6 defense with 2 health. She has Teleporter. Okay, during the main phase, you pay a blue. Characters on your side have stealth until Symmetra leaves play. I think that's really powerful. So basically, you can just decimate your opponent's back row with the Teleporter. And then Photon Projector. When Symmetra attacks, put 2 +1/+1 counters on her. So that ramp up ability with Symmetra, so every time she's going to attack, she's going to get 2 +1/+1s, like the X-23 character. She has 2 health, which means she can put Teleporter down, get stunned, and the Teleporter's still down. So the thing is that, remember, characters on your side have stealth until Symmetra leaves play. So I added this to make sure that the Teleporter actually had a lot more stability within the game. Because if it was until she gets stunned, and then she doesn't attack on that turn and doesn't get that 8 defense, then she's pretty much screwed. But yeah, so 5/6, I think it's a pretty strong character kind of going into this. And then there's Winston. I'm still working on Winston, but I guess I'll show you guys what I'm looking into with Winston. I have 2 Winston supporting characters, and I'll kind of explain why that is. So I have a 7 drop Winston with 2 superpowers. He's Overwatch, 5 attack, 8 defense with 2 health. First one is Primal Rage, and I may be changing all this, guys. So obviously none of this is kind of finalized, but you guys can let me know what you guys think. Primal Rage, Winston gets +8/+8 in melee combat this turn. Whenever he strikes a front row defender this turn, you may move that character to their back row. So just like in the game, he can knock people back as he's punching them around going into Primal Rage. Now, I'm looking forward to working with you all. During the main phase, you can pay a humanity, and Winston can ready this turn a number of times equal to the number of face-up supporting characters on your side. So you pay the humanity to say that he's going to be able to ready a certain number of turns. So let's say you have 4 face-up supporting characters on your side. Then he's going to be able to ready 4 times that turn. So you pay a blue, make him, 13/16? Make him a 13/16 that can knock into your opponent and can make 4 melee attacks that turn. But the thing is that I'm still working on it. I feel like I might just reduce it to the level 2 Winston I have so far in the game. But bear in mind a lot of this stuff is going to get changed because of how I've been trying to work on it. But this is what I have for a level 2 Winston, Berserker, Leap, and Concussive. So when Winston strikes an enemy defender, you may move that character to their back row. So the idea is that I can just keep pummeling people, pushing them into their back row, and then having Reinhardt come in with his hammer down, exhausting all of them, and then swarming on them with Saviors of Humanity. So there are like, and trust me, there's like characters already in the game that really devastate the back row. So Overwatch is all about, as you can know, that's like devastating your opponent's back row, just 100%. So that's what I have so far for previews for today. I already have a whole bunch of other cards set up, but I don't want to make these videos too long. But let me know what you guys think about these card previews, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. And stay frosty.